Global Book Network, I'm Zach Feldman. Thanks so much for tuning in here on globalbooknetwork.tv and on our YouTube channel at Global Book Network. Joining us over the phone is an author. He has a brand new book out called Life Lessons Through Fly Fishing. It is Mark Winkler. Mark, thanks so much for joining us here on Global Book Network. How's everything going?
Great, thank you. And thank you for having me on your show. We really appreciate the opportunity to talk about the book today.
Yeah, anytime. Well, I'm excited to talk to you about it too. It's a great children's book and it seems like a lot of fun. Well, tell us all about life lessons through fly fishing. What's it all about?
Sure. So back about 4 years ago, my father passed away. And, when you have that event in your life, you start to think a little bit about what legacy do you want to leave behind in life. And I have two children, and my kids and I often, as they were younger, we would go, hiking and or started to get into fly fishing together. And I thought to myself, hey, maybe I could write a children's book about life lessons through fly fishing because it taught my kids so many different aspects of life, patience, compassion, persistence, being present. So, yeah, that kind of inspired me a little bit to move down that way. I have a very short attention span, so I thought a children's book would be a great way to keep my audience and myself cued in. So that's what I decided to work on and came out with the book.
That's awesome. And who worked on the illustrations?
So I had a third party company who worked with me on the illustrations. A lot of iterations, a lot of different back and forth sharing. Initially they wanted some vibrancy in colors. I was a little bit more
Mhm.
hesitant, but then we came to some good compromises because children's books need to have attention for kids to look at besides the story, right? Depending
Mhm.
on the age groups and things. So yeah, they did a really nice job, I think, at the end.
Yeah, 100%. And the illustrations side are beautiful. I'm curious to know, was this always going to be a children's book? Did you always have that envision?
Yeah, I pretty much from the beginning kind of thought, a shorter book, children's book would be a great way for me to start um, a book series. So this is one book. I am thinking of a second book, but that one will be probably a life lessons book as well. The preview to that would be probably through day camp and what kids would learn and how what lessons they learn through that process. But that one's not quite finished yet. That's in the works.
Yeah, I mean that'll be next. That'll be the next really great book. But I mean, obviously, this is a great, not only a great children's book to also showcase, like how your dad is in your life.
Yeah.
For young ones, but also this is a really great tribute for your dad who passed away. Was that always the intention to kind of make this a learning lesson?
Yeah, I think just thinking about a legacy and what could I share and pass on to my kids and what did I share and pass on to my kids compared to what he did for me was kind of the whole inspiration of the book. And I do have a daughter and a son, which is parallel to the book. So it was really a way for me to say, here are some things that I shared with my kids and what legacies I left for them. And will go on past me. And, keeping in mind, though, my dad had shared a lot of things with me as well. But this was more, what about my legacy to my kids moving forward? Did I want the book to share and how that might impact and help others, in a society today where everyone's so busy, they've got their phones out, their families don't really sit together and take time together being present. I think just, going out in nature and sharing those types of things with your kids and really kind of looking at what you're doing and how that can impact their lives and maybe even have other life lessons that they learn from an experience like that was really kind of where that all began and started from.
Now, how good are you at fly fishing? That's really the big question here.
So I took up fly fishing in my later 20s,
Yeah.
and I do relatively well. I will tell you though that my son has far outperformed me. My son does live in Montana now, and he is an avid fly fisherman. And so when I go out to visit him, we do a lot of fly fishing together. And
Well,
it's
just because he does it professionally doesn't mean you can't get any credit for that. Come on.
That's true. That's true. That's true. But he's quite good. He's really good at it. But I mean,
Yeah.
I've caught some pretty nice brown trout and rainbows as well along the way. So quite happy about it. For me, it's about being out in nature and sharing that time with my kids. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, what was the biggest lesson you learned about fly fishing from your dad?
I think, just the patience aspects, slowing down in life a little bit, kind of thinking about, you know, what is it like to be present? We're so busy thinking about the next thing that you never really think about the moment. And
Yeah.
in fly fishing, you have to think about the moment. You have to think about where's that fly going to go? Where are the fish coming up, that are trying to feed? You got to watch for signs. You've got to look at what is in the stream that they might be feeding on. So there's a lot of presence in fly fishing
Mhm.
that really give you an opportunity to kind of slow down and just be focused on something and enjoying the moment.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's a really tough sport, but it's a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
it's really cool that you were able to kind of share. You were able to share that with your dad, but also share that with the listeners and the viewers, and the readers, who I should say, with this book and this children's book too, and also the younger generation too, and get their perspective on it too. What's been the feedback from the younger generation?
Um, I think a lot of the kids who I actually have done a couple book readings to kids between second and fourth grade. A lot of them have either said, how can I go fly fishing with my dad? Or, they were excited about the fact that I spent that time with my kids, or just, what kind of fish did you get?
Yeah,
Because, it's not just about trout. You can actually catch a lot of other things fly fishing. You can go on the salt flats and do redfish. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities to fly fish, but they were all about like, hey, fishing's fun. I want to be out there. That looks cool. I like to be in the woods. I like to be standing in the water. So, I
yeah.
mean, there was a lot of that excitement from the kids, and I think most of the kids that are reading the book, they kind of take that away, like, hey, Dad, can we go do this now? This looks fun. So.
Yeah. That's awesome. And that's so much fun to see, and it's gotta feel so good to get that response too.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's something I can share with others, and hopefully they can share with their families as well.
That's awesome. Well, Mark, a life lesson through fly fishing. It's on Amazon. It's all over anywhere you can get books are sold too. But for those who want to keep in touch with you and find you online, where can they go?
They can go to markmwinkler.com. The reason there's an M in the middle is there is a famous singer out there. So I am not the singer, I am the book writer. So yeah, so www.markmwinkler.com.
That's the worst. I mean, listen, for me, it's it was a famous chef that was taking Zach Feldman, but he so
Okay.
far has just kept the domain name and decided to delete his website. So who knows what's going on with him? But he has ruined my life, but it's fine.
Oh, well, I would say you're
Online.
probably still pretty successful, though, I would imagine, right?
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mark M. Winkler, it's Life Lessons Through Fly Fishing. It's on Amazon. You can get it anywhere books are sold to. Mark, thanks so much for joining us here on Globe Book Network, and best of luck with everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you for including me today.
Anytime. You've been watching Globe Book Network here on YouTube and on globalbooknetwork.tv. Catch all the latest interviews and all of our past interviews here on globalbooknetwork.tv. And we'll see you here next time for another author interview.